Hi guys, follow me on Instagram to never ever miss any of my crazy updates. Hi guys and welcome to another vlog. I'm driving this. This is the Mercedes A35 AMG. My goodness, it looks so good in yellow. Straight away we're going to be opening the engine bay of this vehicle. It's a little hot because I had a spirited run right now. Yeah, there it opens. Oh my god, I burned my hand. Okay, it gets hydraulic struts, no insulation right there, doesn't need it, actually it does but doesn't. Anyway, says AMG right there, Mercedes logo. Engine bay looks really nice and hot because it is literally hot right now. Let's close this. Now of course, this is not the full blown version of the A-Class from AMG, or rather the A-Class limousine from AMG. This happens to be the A35 but still looks very sporty. Here you see it says AMG right there, yep. And of course, you get this chrome line below on the bumper. You get a towing hook right there, and the design of this car looks even more aggressive from the side because it is lower, it has got a body kit and has got bigger wheels as well, and in this yellow color it looks particularly impressive. In fact, it says AMG here on the wheels as well, rather on the brake calipers. It says it on the wheels too. The tire size happens to be 235/40/18s, and yes, low profile tires look beautiful. The wheel arches, I mean, they're well filled because of the larger tire size. Of course, it says Turbo 4matic right there. It says Mercedes-Benz here on the lights, and the lights are beautiful. They are multi-beam LEDs, and the DRL actually turns into the indicator. You can see that as well. Okay, it doesn't get the full-blown treatment of what we've actually got used to seeing from AMG, but because since this is a half AMG, it still looks very sporty. I don't know why this yellow color is so impressive. In fact, this yellow color is available on special request as per the document which Mercedes-Benz shared with me. Now, unfortunately, Faisal Khan's fingers of truth cannot be used today because they will become Faisal Khan's fingers of charcoal, coal or burn, because these are real exhausts on this car. Yeah, this is a real exhaust. You can see that. And of course, it got dual exhaust. It's got a proper diffuser as well. And you can see the underbody of the car. You get rear parking sensors, but fingers of truth are useful here because this is fake. Yeah, I don't know why it needs to be fake. That is the indicator. The lights look really beautiful. It says AMG right there. A35 on the other side. Look at the car from the rear. It looks super duper purposeful, fast. Even when standing still, you get a subtle spoiler here. Let's open the boot of the vehicle. Come on, get up. And the boot isn't really large enough, but it comes with AMG number plates which improve the performance of the car. Just kidding. Okay, the spare wheel is not there in this car. It's missing right now. That's kind of surprising and shocking. Let's close this and get inside. Now, since this is very similar to the A-Class, actually it is based on the A-Class, there's not much really to talk about in terms of the exterior and the interior because I've done a full-blown review of the A-Class limousine very recently. Doors open wide enough. You get this beautiful red stitching which looks really impressive. In fact, the seat belt's also finished in red. Now, somehow the seat belt is actually got hidden here behind. Now you can see the seats are really very nice and supportive, very comfortable. Although the recline angle at the rear is a little too upright for my liking. There's good amount of knee room and leg room, but there's a hump there, which means 3 passengers are not really welcome. Although they are adjustable headrests for all passengers. There's a cup holder here. There's a proper armrest as well. AC vents at the rear too. Door pockets are large enough. Love this treatment. It looks super duper awesome, super duper nice. And since we've got a panoramic roof, it brings in the airy feeling. Yeah, because you sit so low now, under thigh support is actually quite poor, but legroom and knee room is actually decent enough. It's good enough. Headroom is also fine as such, but the dashboard looks super duper impressive because this is an AMG. It gets the AMG treatment, really sporty, really nice with the black finish on the interior. Meanwhile, it also gets something which all of us are going to love. Happens to be this AMG written right here, which actually improves the performance of the car. Red seat belts, red stitching here, sporty AMG seats. You see the side bolstering, super duper nice. AMG carpets. This has been finished in sort of chrome as well. Proper dead pedal there. Obviously, this is for the headlight control. Big door pockets at the front. These are the controls for the power window. This is for the outside rear view mirror adjustment. You get memory seats. You can save up to 3 people settings, and obviously power adjust as well. Under thigh support, not an issue at all because you can actually increase it like that. Okay, turbine AC vents also look pretty cool on this car. Let's do one thing. Let's turn off the indicators. Now the stock's a little bit small, but again, there's some AMG bits inside this car. First and foremost, it gets a 12-speaker Burmester sound system. Yeah, 12-speaker Burmester sound system, which is again very impressive. These are controls for the air conditioning. AC vents feel really nice. Twin 10.25-inch screens on either side. Now this gets a specific AMG AMG treatment has been given here as well. That's the reason why in styles and displays, it's got something known as Super Sport instead of Progressive. Yeah, that looks really very nice as well. I love the stitching, the quality, everything, fit finish is fantastic inside this car. Lovely indeed. And obviously it's got multicolors for the ambient lighting. It's also got seat massage. Yeah, seat comfort, you can see that. It says seat kinetics, relaxation through light seat movement. So it's got massage as well. AMG performance menu is here, which shows you how much power and torque you're using in real time and how the power is being channeled to all the four wheels. A lot of stuff, G-force meter and whatnot, and you can just go to full screen as well. So yes, it has plenty of information there, dynamic select and whatnot. The menus are very easy to browse through. Obviously, it has got a ton of ways to operate this. The touchscreen system. You also get a touchpad here. You get voice commands. Hey Mercedes.
How may I help you?
BMW.
What can I do for you?
Okay, this thing is a bit confused right now, but you get a proper panoramic roof, although it's not really as big as I would have expected it to be, but still decent size. Let's open the roof. Brings in a lot of airy feeling inside this all black cabin, and there, you know what, as soon as it opens till here, it pulls this sun blind all the way till here. Well, that is just being smart. Auto dimming inside rear view mirror. Steering feels nice to hold, gets a flat bottom steering, gets a red stitching everywhere, and of course you get paddle shifters. Like audio controls are there on the steering wheel. Obviously these are the audio controls, these are for the cruise control, this is for this screen, this is for this screen. Everything is so easy and ergonomically sorted. Seats are super comfortable. I love the finishing on the dashboard. The 64 ambient light colors are also super impressive. Nothing to nitpick, you know, the interior is so fantastic. You get a slew of cameras as well. It also gets park assist. Let's get into reverse right away so I can show you the reverse parking camera. It gets adaptive guidelines. The camera is actually hidden, you know what, it opens up. Yeah, you get multiple views for the same. Super impressive, a Mercedes-Benz car. Obviously, the steering wheel is adjustable both for reach as well as rake, but it is manually adjustable as such. So, how is it to drive? Because who really wants to know about the interior aspects of an AMG? Everyone wants to know how does it sound. Well, let's start driving right away. Alright, we're all set to go, which means getting into Sport Plus right away. Turning off traction control system. It says Sport handling mode. Let's keep this pressed for another minute or so. Yeah, completely off. Not for a minute, at least 4-5 seconds. Air conditioning has to be turned off. Here, air conditioning off, completely air conditioning off, and hazard light off. Getting into drive mode, and we move off slowly. I'm not going to get bonkers on the accelerator pedal yet. I'll tell you that for a reason. First and foremost, let me tell you that the A35 is actually a very usable car, minus of course the absolutely stiff ride quality on this vehicle. You can actually drive it every day, and it is just like a version which gives you more performance than the regular A-Class. You can say that the A35 is the middle ground between the regular A-Class limousine and of course the bonkers A45, which of course is not going to be on sale in India, but there was the A45 available in India, not the A45 actually, the CLA45 as well as the GLA45. So we can keep those two cars as a reference, but they were from the previous generation. I drove both of them in India, and trust me, acceleration is absolutely bonkers. 4-cylinder engines, all of them, yet the punch was absolutely surreal. Now this car also uses a 2-liter 4-cylinder engine. However, this is not the same engine as the A45. It's actually not even an AMG engine. It's an engine which is used in the A250 abroad. Meanwhile, the A45 obviously is a full-blown AMG unit, which obviously has bonkers amount of power, 420 or so. This one produces 306 horsepower. Meanwhile, the torque output is 500 Newton meters between 3000 to 4000 RPM. And the result is, it's a good punch, you know. It has great amount of grunt without a doubt, but it doesn't feel AMG fast, unfortunately. So when you compare it to the regular A200 petrol, yes, the performance is in an entirely different league altogether, but don't compare it with the A45, which just has bonkers thrust. You can't even compare it with the C63. Again, C63 is another level altogether. I mean, the price of the C63 is 3x of this one. So you can imagine the kind of performance you would expect from a C63. However, the good part here is that there's good amount of grunt. Drivability is good, refinement is stellar, and it has good amount of surge in the mid-range. In fact, it surges relentlessly. Gearbox is also fast enough. It goes ahead without any hesitation whatsoever. The tacho needle really climbs very fast indeed, and then you realize you've come on a bad patch of road where you need to slow down, because obviously the ride quality is on the stiffer side. Now we've got a lot of AMG bits here. Of course, the AMG suspension, the AMG steering wheel, and the underbody as well as the chassis has been stiffened. You get a strut bar, you get a rear subframe, you get all of that to just improve the handling ability of this car. The steering wheel is super quick. It is absolutely phenomenal how much feel and feedback the steering wheel offers you. But that's not all. It also is so responsive. Body roll is super well contained. I mean, there's no roll as such because it feels pinpoint accurate. It's a very fun car to drive because obviously it gets the full-blown AMG bits as well, which are there on the A45. Making a lane change no problem at all. It just feels so reassuring to drive. There's ample amount of grip on offer, but since the A-Class is actually a front-wheel drive car, it has to be a 4MATIC. Yeah, this is a 4MATIC, which means that it channels power to all four wheels. So it doesn't have that playfulness of an AMG, which will scare you silly. But before that, an important thing you need to understand is that 4MATIC is not rear biased here at all. It can channel up to 50% power to the rear wheels, which means for the most part, it is front wheel drive. Only the rear axle kicks in when you feel a slip or you need more grip, but you don't realize when that happens because it's so subtle. So for the most part, it is actually channeling power to the front wheels, and when it does channel power to the rear wheels also, understeer doesn't really kick in here. It is very neutral a chassis. It feels very balanced, very neutral. For the most part, you realize that it will not give you understeer, it will not give you oversteer. However, near limit understeer is definitely present, which is expected. Now, because you're sitting so low, the car is light and stiff. On Indian roads, you can feel you're going very fast. But in order to have the AMG feel, now you have to drive really fast because it doesn't give you that madness of an AMG earlier on. And the disappointing part here is, of course, the exhaust. It doesn't sound inspiring enough. It doesn't sound sporty either. You rev the nuts, the exhaust just doesn't have the grunt. In fact, here we're going to downshift. No, it just feels very flat, very uninspiring, and doesn't feel bonkers at all. So yes, Mercedes does need to work on the exhaust of the A35. Doesn't feel exciting. I'm sorry, but this is not what I expect from an AMG. I expect an AMG to absolutely be bonkers, blow my ears off. This car just doesn't do that. It's fast, without a doubt. It's fast. It goes from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in 4.8 seconds, which is actually decently quick. In fact, why am I even saying that? Let's find out. And before that, let me tell you that the braking performance is absolutely fantastic here. Check this out. No drama, stops dead in its track. Left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator, race start, and that is absolutely insane acceleration for a car which actually is producing just 300 horsepower. That's obviously AMG for you. They've tuned everything so well. It pulls really very fast, really very quickly. Very exciting car to drive without a doubt. And with race start, like launch control, it pulls like a mad leash on steroids. Stellar. Now let me tell you something, it has got 5 drive modes on offer. There is a slippery mode, I don't know for what. Okay, there is obviously individual, there's comfort, there's sport and sport plus. Right now we're driving in sport plus. In sport plus now it becomes a little bit more rear biased, the power delivery, but still doesn't feel rear wheel drive at all in any way. So 4MATIC actually kind of ruins the fun because it adds on weight obviously, and then because of the 4MATIC you can't be playful. But then this is a 35. What exactly is a 35? The 35 is a 43. What I'm trying to tell you is, in the new generation of Mercedes cars, a 35 is equivalent to a 43 in the traditional Mercedes cars. So like a C43, this is the A35. Both are similar in terms of the half AMG bits which they offer. So a full-blown AMG is a C63. In this case, it would be a A45 AMG. And then when I apply brakes, I realize absolutely sure for its stopping power. Love it. And race start. I just cannot believe this. That even with traction control off, I am not getting scared silly. Why do I put ESP on sport? I've turned it off completely. Still, no signs of losing traction, no signs of scaring me silly. Because at the end of the day, this is not a full-blown AMG, and this having 4MATIC kind of ruins the fun because I just cannot scare myself silly. There is no wheel spin. I was expecting, chalo, fine. It is not going to channel much power to the rear wheels with traction control off. At least to the front wheels, it should be able to light them up, make some noise. No, none of that, unfortunately. So what we're going to do is we're going to change this mode quickly. The styles and display, I'm going to come into super sport and left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator, race start. Look at that. And now this is a 7-speed dual clutch gearbox, which is actually very fast with shifts. Yeah, fast with upshifts, not really fast with downshift. Although it will give you a downshift when you need it, otherwise obviously you can use the paddle shifters for sure. But the problem here lies with the fact that you know what? I simply don't understand one fact, that why is it not very quick with shifts at lower speeds? So it kind of fumbles at lower speeds, this dual clutch gearbox. It's a 7-speed unit. Otherwise, for the most part, it's fast with shifts, and obviously you can get manual control as well, which will hold on to a gear if you so decide to do so, and that is around 6,500 RPM. Now in the city, because of the compact dimensions, it's very easy to drive this car. Speed breakers, be very careful of them, be very wary of them, because the car can scrape its underbelly. Now obviously it's much better than the A45 and the GLA45 and the CLA45. In fact, the CLA45 AMG, the last generation which I drove, has the worst ground clearance of any car on earth. It even touches on rumblers. I kid you not, it even touches on rumblers. That is a poor level of ground clearance on offer. Now here, U-turn, no problem, so easily done. And onto the throttle, even with traction control off, if you try to go full throttle near a corner or U-turn, no effect. There is just so much grip on offer. It's absolutely baffling. Left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator, race start. Finally little wheel spin on offer, but you see upshifts happen around 6,300 RPM. So yeah, it could have gone higher in terms of the rev range, going to 7,000 RPM. Well, who wouldn't mind that? Let's do one thing. Let's put this into individual right now. So we are right now in individual mode, which means that I have the gearbox on manual. There, it will not upshift unless and until I decide to do so. So yeah, it takes a shift to third gear to cross 100 kilometers per hour. Now, you know, the fuel economy happens to be between 6 to 10 kilometers per litre, again depending on your driving style. And because this is a Mercedes, obviously it's got a slew of very interesting tech bits. Most important one which I need to tell you about is, of course, this thing, the active brake assist, which has 3 modes, early, medium and late, which automatically applies brakes. Now I've turned it off for the moment because I want to do a bit of dynamic driving. It's good for people who are not enthusiastic, but it's better if you turn it off if you're a little bit enthusiastic, because it can get a little sensitive depending on which mode you have put it on. Now I love the fact that, you know, it gives me complete manual control of things on the gearbox, and you know what, direction changes are so fast and so stellar, and then you want to shift up on your own because it makes you feel involved with the drive. That's something I love about AMG models, that gives me complete control of what I'm trying to do. Now you can see here dynamic select is showing me how the wind is blowing. Actually the thing is, this is a very aerodynamic car, so that also helps its cause in terms of high-speed stability, because high-speed stability is absolutely sensational without a doubt. Feels very stable at high speeds. So let's do one thing, let's just get into the classic mode of the instrument cluster, and let me also change this mode. We're going to get into Sport Plus again. You know what all these modes do? They alter the engine, the gearbox, of course. It also alters the AMG dynamics, which is the traction control system and the way the car responds. And it also alters the suspension, because obviously it's got dynamic dampers, adaptive dampers that is. So it doesn't alter the steering wheel as per whatever data the computer is showing right now, or rather the infotainment system is showing. Still, let me tell you that the steering wheel is so flawless, so amazing. I can keep praising it endlessly because it feels very direct, it feels very fast, and directional changes are super quick. You know, check this out. It just feels super duper responsive. What a steering wheel, so lovely, so amazing, love it. And then you punch it out of a corner or through a maneuver, and then you accelerate hard, reach a place, and then apply heavy brakes, because then rumblers are here. You have to be a little bit too careful over them because you don't want to touch the underbelly of this car. Again you accelerate, again you brake. The whole level of acceleration, braking, dynamics, handling, steering feel, high-speed stability is absolutely sensational in this car. The only disappointing part is, of course, the ride quality, because it feels really very harsh. Now I'll tell you what, it can deal with smaller bumps, of course, and potholes, but on bigger ones it just can't cope up. So you really have to slow down over there, but then you don't want to spoil the low-profile tires any which way. So you anyways are going to be really very careful in, you know, dealing with that. So as I see it, okay, listen to the car. Sometimes, occasionally, it's like here, you know what, there's a pop, there's a crackle, enjoy that, but it doesn't do it regularly. And oh my god, there's a rumbler. Yeah, you can feel a bit of the rattle over rumblers. So what I'm telling you is that it doesn't have a consistent exhaust note. It doesn't always feel, you know what, brutal or bassy. It feels kind of flat, kind of feels, how do I put it, something which has an active exhaust turned off. Okay, it's tightly, but still this A35 AMG is absolutely impressive a car, because it's going to be priced attractively. It's obviously assembled in India, which means that this is the second AMG model to be assembled in India. The first one is, of course, the GLC 43 AMG. We're going to stop, we're going to launch, but I love the car for the way it gives accessible performance. when you do race start now, it upshifts at around 6,000 rpm itself. So guys, this is my vlog of the Mercedes A35 AMG 4MATIC Turbo, whatever you want to call it. Fantastic in the way it drives, lovely in the way it changes lanes, a very engaging car to drive, but most importantly it's going to be priced at around rupees 62 lakhs on road Mumbai, making it a very attractive proposition because overall the A-Class is a fantastic car, but the A35 fulfills the missing puzzle of adding more oomph to the package, more performance, better handling, and of course an exterior and interior which feels super sporty and super nice as well. So guys, if you like this vlog, make sure to give it a thumbs up, that's a like button, and also subscribe to the channel. I will see you guys in the next video real soon. Bye bye.